Welcome back, everybody. We're here to pull cards for January the 8th. I am going to be pulling one card for overall energy, followed by one card for each zodiac sign. And then we'll look at how those energies blend to look at the predictions that come out for the day for each sign as we go through. It is to your best interest to listen to the full explanation of the overall energy so that when I'm kind of glossing past that, when I get to your sign, you have a better idea about what I'm actually see in there and what I'm going for in my meanings. Now, overall energy is showing up as the Tower. That's definitely an exciting card. So the Tower is a card that a lot of people have a negative stigma around. It's one that does talk about a major shakeup. And so sometimes people really get worried about this card. It doesn't have to be something that we worry about. First of all, we can be causing the major shakeup. It can be something that we're doing by choice. And the other reason we don't have to worry about this is even if it's something that is happening outside of our control, it's happening because we've gotten a little too comfortable and we're stagnating in a place where we can no longer grow or expand, and we haven't been looking for a place to grow or expand into. So when we have the Tower, it's basically Spirit saying, you know what, I don't like it when things stagnate, and just sort of booting us out of that super comfy position so that we will look for something where we can grow and expand. So what ends up happening inevitably is that we find something that makes us feel safe and secure again, and that new something is better because there is room for growth or expansion where we didn't have that before. So whenever we get to the end of the long story here, we actually are in much better position or much better shape than whenever the Tower first showed up, whenever the shakeup first happened. So, bum, ba, da, da, da. Originally, when this comes in, this can be a little bit breathtaking, can take us a minute to get our legs under us. A lot of times we are not expecting this. But at the same time, the long story is a good one. It does have a happy ending. So we don't want to get too stressed out. We just want to start looking for the solution really quickly. All right. And that's if we didn't cause this Tower ourselves. Sometimes we cause a shakeup ourselves because we know we need to do something different where we can expand more. So we're going to look and see how this plays out for everybody as I look at the cards for each sign. We'll see if this is something that you're causing, if this is something that you're dealing with, or if this is something that somebody in your sphere of influence is dealing with and it just happens to be impacting you somewhat. All right, so let's see what is happening here with this Tower, starting with Aries. Aries, look at you. You are definitely the one making this Tower shake, man. Empress coming up. You're definitely the one who is shaking things up because you're not happy with how things are and you're ready for some improvements. Good for you. Taurus. King of Cups coming up in reverse. Okay, so Taurus, this is telling me that there's something going on where we're having a major shakeup in our life and we're not very happy about it. That King of Cups in reverse is somebody who, they know how to control their feelings, but when he's in reverse, he is letting people know this is not going to work. This is not cool. All right. So this is a calm expression of not being happy with this situation, but definitely you're not happy with this situation. Now, here's the thing. How you're handling this is commendable because you're looking at a problem that has happened and you're letting somebody know this is not okay. And that is giving you and this other person or group of people a chance to game plan on what do we need to do in the future to make sure this not okay thing happen, this not okay thing that did happen doesn't happen again. All right, so you are handling this very well. Next up, we're looking at Gemini. Gemini, Nine of Wands. Now, this is interesting because this tells me that you have prepared for this major shakeup, Gemini. So you may be the person causing this shakeup, but I'm going to say I don't think you are. I think you just saw the writing on the wall. And so you were getting ready because you figured this was just a matter of time before it actually happened. That's what I'm seeing there. Next up, let's look at Cancer. 7 of Cups showing up for Cancer. What's going on here? Cancer, there is a major shakeup happening for you. Here's the deal. This is not a shakeup that you have created, but it is opening you up to the idea that you have options of things you can do to improve your life right now. And so you're seeing some of those options and you're starting to investigate them right off the bat. Whatever this tower is, whatever this shakeup is, it's allowing you more time to pursue other things now. I think this is an exciting relief, actually, for you. All right, so that's Cancers. Next up, we're going to look at Leo. Excuse me. Leos. 6 of Cups coming up in reverse. Here's what I'm feeling like for you, Leos. This is not a tower that is literally happening in your life, so not a shakeup that is directly impacting you. It is directly impacting somebody from your past that you don't necessarily have a whole lot of good memories with, okay? So this could be a family member that you guys don't really see eye to eye. This could be an ex. This could be a friend who didn't treat you very well. For some of you, what you're seeing is karma playing out for how somebody did treat you in the past. And I'm going to tell you, I think, Leos, a lot of you are feeling sorry for that person in spite of whatever they did to you in the past. I think you're kind of thinking that this karma might have been a little bit of overkill. Not all of you are going to feel that way, but I think quite a few of you are. All right, let's look next at Virgo. Knight of Wands. Virgo, there's some kind of shakeup coming up here that actually makes you feel invigorated. You're out there doing some things that make you feel excited and enthusiastic that you're passionate about because the shakeup happened. It kind of propelled you in a certain direction. And I don't think it's a direction that you're feeling bad about at all. Next up, we're looking at Libra. That's my empowered watchers. You guys are, I think a lot of you who are my viewers are empowered by understanding some of these things that other people would not understand if they hadn't been watching and listening to something like this. See if we can get the focus back here with my fingers back on the cards. I really liked how the moon was showing up so clearly to start with. What's going on here? Okay, well, I guess it does not want to do that again. Darn it, that makes me upset. Like, that's just frustrating. Okay, well, anyway, who are we on? I got totally distracted there. I do apologize. That was Virgo. Next, we're looking at Libra. Okay, so Libras. You can't tell, but you have a beautiful moon on this card. So sorry. All right, so Libras, you do have the moon card showing up along with the tower. Now, this is really interesting because the tower talks about a pretty major shakeup. You don't know about it. You know something is up. You know something is up, but you don't know about this major shakeup, not just yet today. And so we cannot leave you hanging there. Absolutely not. We're going to have to clarify that a little bit. Tell me more about this major shakeup that's happening behind the scenes. This secret shakeup that somebody is not telling Libra about. What does this have to do with? What does Libra need to know about this shakeup? Okay. Well, I don't think you had a chance to see the writing on the wall because it has to do with something new. Oh, okay. Let's get everything on the camera for those of you who are my Lenormand readers so you can see. All right. So this has to do with something new that really gets off to a rocky start and then does well. So here's the interesting thing. With this last card showing up, Once again, we're hearing that this is not the end of the story. This is just the beginning of the story. So even though this is secret, even though this shakeup is a secret shakeup, it's not one that is where the information is easily accessible for you. I'm not so sure that it makes a big difference in your life. And the reason I'm not so sure about that is because here's a new beginning. Here's something that's starting new. This is where the shakeup is happening. And this new beginning is getting off to a rough start with the mice here. Okay? And then it's upgrading. So I think that this may be something that maybe it's the company that you work for, or it's somebody that you spend time with, has some type of shakeup happening in their life that impacts something new that they're doing, and it gives them basically a learning experience. Something happens that they might not have been exactly expecting or prepared for, but they recover nicely with this stork card here because they end up upgrading whatever this is. So that's really interesting to me because this ends up turning around and upgrading because of how they recover from this. Libras, you may never know about this shakeup. You may never know. Or it may be years before you actually know about this shakeup. So there's a shakeup that's happening, but it's certainly not affecting most of you. Most of you don't even know about it. So what I'm going to say for you guys, basically as best advice, is if you have people around you who are not acting like themselves, give them some grace, give them some room. They're dealing with something, and they're dealing with it very well, although it may be a little bit tough for them, and it may cause them to act a little bit off. So give some grace. Give some grace. You don't have to know the full story to know that sometimes people just need some grace, right? That's basically the advice that I'm seeing here for you, Libras. Next up, we're going to look at Scorpios. Scorpio's Ten of Swords showing up in reverse. Well, this is really interesting. So, is this something Scorpio is causing or somebody else? This is interesting because what I'm hearing from Spirit is this is something that somebody else is causing, but Scorpio is taking it into their own hands. So there's been some kind of shakeup that came from external. I'm going to say we've already been dealing with this shakeup and looking for the solution to replace whatever that was that made us feel secure before. With that Ten of Swords showing up in reverse, it's interesting to me because the storyline that I'm getting is we're going to be offered the opportunity to go back into whatever that was shook up. Okay? But we are not stopping with our plans. We've already made plans to move forward, to improve ourselves, to upgrade something. And we're not going to stop with those plans. So even though we have the opportunity to go back to how things used to be, we've already recognized that that's not really good for us. And we're not doing that. We are continuing on in our plans to move forward and to be more productive. All right, that's interesting. Okay, next up, let's look at Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Magician showing up for you guys. We like it. We like it. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to tell you, Sagittarius, is it's probably you who has engineered this big shakeup. All right, so I don't think this was a surprise to you. I think you've engineered it, and I think you've engineered this big shakeup because you were recognizing that there was something going on that was holding you back or keeping you down, keeping you from manifesting those things that you want. So you created this shakeup. It may be that you were in a relationship with somebody who was keeping you from moving towards your dreams and you decided to break off that relationship. It may be that you were working in a place that did not allow you the time or the energy to do your own thing. And so you may have cut your hours way back or even quit there so that you have a chance to find a position that gives you the time and the space to work on your own thing. There's 1,000,001 ways that this manifests. However, the thing to remember here is you are manifesting those things that you want. And part of that process to manifest those things that you want, yep, Sagittarius, has been to create this major shakeup. Okay. Next up, we're looking at Capricorns. Okay, so Capricorns, you guys have the Nine of Cups showing up in reverse. Capricorns, I'm going to say, I don't know that you actually consciously caused this shakeup, but I am going to say that how do I want to word this? I think you could have helped to prevent this shakeup had you wanted to, but I think because you have been discontent or not satisfied, restless with whatever this situation is, I think that when you saw the idea that this shakeup was going to show up, I think that you just sort of stepped back and let it happen. Because whatever the situation is, you already knew that it wasn't satisfying or fulfilling for you. If it was in the past, it's not anymore. Maybe it never has been. And so you were not about to save this situation. You were not the direct reason that it blew up, but you were not about to step in and try to save it either. All right, next up, let's look at Aquarius. These cards are thick. I keep thinking I've got more than one. Okay, so Aquarius, 10 of Pentacles showing up in reverse. What's happening here, Aquarius? Aquarius, I do think there's some kind of shakeup that's happening in your life. I don't think that you're the one who has initiated this shakeup. And I do think that initially it is something that costs you. For some of you, this could be costing you in physical health. Maybe the stress of it gets to you. For others of you, this could literally be taking money out of your checking account. This could be costing you money. All right, but there is some kind of cost that you're paying because of this shakeup here. However, that cost is temporary, and you'll find that when you get to the other side, you have a much more efficient system working for you. Okay, and let's see, that was Aquarius. One more. Let's do Pisces. Okay, Pisces, Four of Cups coming up in reverse. Look at this, Pisces. You are bouncing back so fast. This is not actually a shakeup that you initiated. At the same time, I don't know that you're that surprised about this shakeup because I don't see it taking you a long time to bounce back at all. I think what's happening here is you're recognizing the shakeup, you're recognizing the situation that it has you in, and there is disappointment here, but you're not focusing on anything that's disappointing here. What you're focusing on is, oh, well, that opens up some new opportunities for me. I'm going to focus on those new opportunities. It's a very proactive way of finding a solution to this whole situation without soaking in the juices and the marinade of any kind of pity or sadness or anger. Just putting one foot in front of the other and looking at, okay, well, that opens up some new opportunities for me. Let me look at those. You know, I think that I get the impression that a lot of you guys recognize that it was time for this thing to come out of your life anyway. Okay. So that's what I've got for everybody. Thank you all so much for being here today. I do appreciate all of your support. You guys are my fabulous, fabulous sponsors. That way I don't have to do ads for anything crazy in the middle of these videos. So thank you for putting a thumbs up on the video and sharing it with others if you found it helpful. And of course, also putting some feedback down below. I am looking forward to reading for some of you privately later on today. And the rest of you, I'll see you back on the next video. Peace out.